The refreshed 2022 GMC Sierra 1500. It is finally here, and it brings with it a whole host of updates and changes, including a new front fascia, an all-new interior, and all kinds of updates to its powertrain and capabilities. But, in my opinion, there is one thing in particular that is more newsworthy than the rest, and that is the new Sierra AT4X. Now, the AT4X is not a replacement for the AT4 that we've all come to know and love. No, instead, the AT4X is a separate model that builds on the AT4 as a new trim level. GMC says that the Sierra AT4X is, quote, the new peak of premium off-road performance with serious capability and uncompromising refinements, end quote. Now, GMAuthority.com was the first to tell you that GM is planning the Sierra AT4X way back before there were any teasers, spy shots, or any other kind of official or non-official confirmation. So GM Authority told you about it first. But enough with all that. Let's take a look at what the Sierra AT4X is all about. Alright, so let's start under the hood. The new Sierra AT4X is powered by a familiar engine, well, an engine that should be familiar to GM fans and GMC enthusiasts. And that's because it's powered by the 6.2-liter V8 naturally aspirated gasoline engine. For those of you at home keeping track of the RPO codes, that's L87, so dynamic fuel management, not active fuel management. Overall, the engine makes a familiar power rating and torque rating, that's 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. GM's 10-speed automatic transmission handles shifting duties. The Sierra AT4X also features a 2-speed transfer case with selectable modes for different off-road conditions, and that includes terrain mode, which allows for one-pedal rock crawling. That, in turn, is mated to front and rear e-locking differentials, so plenty of axle power and plenty of axle and mechanicals there to get the grip going and put all that V8 power to the ground. Moving on to the chassis and suspension, the new Sierra AT4X features unique Multimatic DSSV spool dampers and unique springs. Now, all that results in increased front suspension travel by 50 millimeters and rear suspension travel by 25 millimeters when compared with a standard Sierra AT4. In addition to all that, the Sierra AT4X also features specific off-road chassis and suspension calibrations, as we would expect for a suspension setup like this. Protecting the mechanical bits is a unique steel transfer case shield, and the Sierra AT4X also offers an optional rocker guard accessory. The truck rides on 18-inch black wheels with LT265 70 R18 Goodyear Wrangler Duratrack mud terrain tires. Now, those of you paying particularly close attention will notice that all of those hardware specs sound exactly the same as those for another off-road oriented GM truck. And of course, I'm referring to the 2022 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2. And you know what? GMAuthority.com was the first to tell you that the AT4X will be mechanically identical to the Silverado ZR2. All right, we'll stop tooting our own horn for now. Let's just move on to the interior. Inside, the new Sierra AT4X features an all-new cockpit. And yes, finally, the long-awaited interior, the long-awaited cabin, the long-awaited cockpit, it's finally here, and it looks great. The center stack is all new with a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen right there in the middle. No, it is not a vertical huge screen like Tesla or like some other folks are doing. And you know what? Personally, I'm thankful for that because, quite frankly, I despise those huge vertical touchscreens. They're horrible when you're driving. They're distracting. They have to dig around and stuff at the bottom trying to hit something when you're trying to be looking at the road and when you're supposed to be looking at the road. So, very great. It's great news that GMC went with a horizontally oriented touchscreen for the Sierra refresh. There's also a new center console design that looks a whole lot better than the pre-refresh Sierras. So that's 19, 20, 21, as well as the 2022 Sierra Limited, which is not the same thing as the refreshed Sierra. In addition to that, there is an all-new electronic precision shift That's a shifter, a digital shifter. So that's new on models with front bucket seats. For those of you who like column shifters, that's still available, but only on models with the front bench seat option. Directly in front of the driver resides a 12.3-inch configurable digital instrument cluster, otherwise known as a gauge cluster, only that, of course, it's digital, so there are no actual analog gauges. There's also a 15-inch multicolor head-up display, or a HUD, and when you combine all of the screens I just mentioned, so the center stack screen, the new gauge cluster, the digital gauge cluster, as well as the head-up display, combine all of those and you have a combined 40 diagonal inches of digital displays, which is the most in its class. The AT4X also features a unique interior colorway. It's called Obsidian Rush, and it really looks gorgeous. GMC says that it delivers comfort and convenience, and, well, just feast your eyes on this thing. The interior also features authentic dark ash wood trim, best-in-class 16-way power adjustable seats with a massaging function, a premium micro suede headliner, that to me is really cool to have in a truck, a power sliding rear window, and a 12-speaker Bose Premium Series audio system with Centerpoint technology. The moonroof, we should talk about that for a second. There is a moonroof, it is standard, but unfortunately, well, maybe unfortunately for some, maybe not so unfortunate for others, it is a single pane moonroof. So the same as was around for 19, 20, 21, and 2022 Limited. In other words, there is no dual pane moonroof, and there's also no panoramic roof for the refreshed Sierra, as well as the Sierra AT4X. As for capability, the Sierra AT4X features 1,420 pounds of maximum payload, as well as 8,900 pounds of max towing, or max trailering. Pricing for the AT4X starts at $74,995, and that is compared to $60,995 for the regular AT4. So roughly a $15,000 premium for the AT4X versus the regular AT4. So there you have it. The 2022 GMC Sierra AT4X elevates the already capable package that is the Sierra AT4 to an entirely new level, and I personally cannot wait to drive it. For GMAuthority.com, I'm Alex Luft. Over and out.